Heughan was in New York promoting his whiskey, while Caitriona Balfe had just finished a fashion magazine shoot in Paris. Everything was going smoothly until a tabloid broke the news that the two had secretly signed a major joint venture, but the media was not allowed to know. The news spread like wildfire, leaving their respective management teams in a state of panic. Strangely enough, neither of them denied it. The next morning, Caitriona flew straight to London without telling any reporters. She donned a woolly hat and a long coat, and quietly walked through the VIP gate at Heathrow Airport. At the same time, Sam cancelled a meeting with an investment partner without explaining why. They showed up at the same small boutique hotel in Notting Hill, within 10 minutes of each other, but they were not together. No paparazzi caught them together, only Sam taking the stairs, Caitriona using the old staff elevator. That night, on the top floor of the hotel, a small, unmarked room was the site of a secret meeting under the name of a media company no one had ever heard of. The room was lit just enough for the two of them, a stack of documents placed in the middle of the glass table, no lawyers, no assistants, no reporters. "If this gets out before we're ready, everything will fall apart," Caitriona said, her eyes never leaving the stack of papers. Sam replied softly, "We've been hiding something much bigger for years. This isn't that hard." What they discussed wasn't love, not a film project, not a marketing campaign. It was a secret plan, co-founding an independent film fund to support young filmmakers in Scotland and Ireland, but under the name of two anonymous investors. Why hide it? Because if it was announced too early, the media would not see it as an art project, but as an excuse for personal involvement. However, what made the story hot was not that plan, but a strange clause at the end of the document. During the cooperation process, absolutely avoid appearing in public together for purposes other than the main project. In case it cannot be avoided, prepare a unified explanation in advance. Caitriona finished reading, put down her pen, and smiled. "Do you realize? We are creating something more secret than our real private lives." Sam just smiled, but his eyes flashed with something half joking, half serious. "Do you think people will believe we are just financial partners?" The door closed, and at that moment, a hotel employee accidentally saw a familiar figure walking across the hallway, and accidentally sent the internal camera footage to his best friend, who is a paparazzi. The rumor started with an anonymous Twitter account with only 43 followers. But just one sentence was enough to shake the entire fandom. Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe met secretly at the Dorian Hotel. Not for filming. Does anyone know what they're hiding? At first, no one believed it. But a few hours later, a photo taken from a hotel hallway camera was released. Although it wasn't clear, Sam's tall figure in a black robe and beanie was something fans could recognize at first sight. As for Caitriona's figure in a long trench coat and her signature walk, it was undeniable. Before the press could get involved, the fandom was divided into three factions. First faction: it must have just been a chance meeting, don't speculate. Second faction: what project are they working on together that they're so secretive? Third faction: there's clearly something more than friendship. The most intense was the #Heughan Balfe meeting, which climbed to the top of the trending list after only 9 hours. Some gossip sites started speculating. Caitriona left her husband to reunite with Sam? Sam quietly broke off the engagement? They set up a joint company and then moved in together? Meanwhile, their media representatives neither denied nor confirmed it. This made things even more explosive. At the London management office, Caitriona and Sam met for the first time after the news broke. There were only 3 people in the room, them and their temporary general manager, Lisa. Lisa opened her laptop and took a deep breath. "Do you know what the problem is? The private rumors are now overwhelming the real project." Sam crossed his arms, calm but unable to hide his annoyance. "We kept quiet because this project could not be announced yet, but the media only focused on the love story. Caitriona leaned back in her chair, her eyes sharp but her voice still soft. If they reveal the real purpose, it will be even more troublesome. We have not registered the fund name yet, and the legal terms have not been completed. One poorly timed article will ruin everything. Lisa nodded, then gave a new piece of information. There's a bigger problem. Last night, a journalist from Screenline magazine emailed directly asking, "Are you two investing in a secret movie project together, or are you just dating?" No one answered, because they both knew, if they just confirmed the project, everything would be exposed. But if they denied it, the lie would contradict what they were going to announce in the next few months. That night, the fandom discovered an anonymous Instagram story with a cover photo of a document titled, The Northern Light Film Foundation, the name Sam and Caitriona had agreed on but never revealed to anyone outside the four-person founding committee. There was no content inside, just the title and a simple pencil logo. But that was enough to make the community jump. Comments poured in. Why do they have to use their own names instead of going public? If they really set up a foundation, why keep it secret? Is there something they don't want Caitriona's husband to know? Or are they using the project as a cover for their own private matters? Sam read the posts with a smirk, but Caitriona remained silent. She had always been strong in the media, but this time she knew, if just one major newspaper made a false accusation, her husband would be dragged into an unnecessary spiral. The next day, Sam flew to Edinburgh, Caitriona returned to Dublin. They did not contact each other by phone, only by encrypted emails from the legal team. Each appeared at two different events, with extremely calculated answers. Journalist. You were in London with Caitriona last week, was it to discuss personal matters? Sam laughed naturally. I had a few meetings there, I think people are just guessing. When there is something worth saying, I will say it myself. At Paris Fashion Week, a reporter grabbed Caitriona backstage. We heard that you and Sam are collaborating on a very private personal project. Can you share? She just smiled politely. I always respect and keep secrets that are not only mine. The answer did not deny, did not confirm, but made everyone believe that there must be something very big hidden. A week later, the leaker was not a paparazzi, not a hotel employee, but a young Scottish director named Evan McCreath. He had received a scholarship from Sam years ago, and was now trying to get funding for a new film. In a small podcast, Evan accidentally blurted out, I heard Sam Heughan and Caitriona are planning to set up a fund to support independent films. If true, it would be a huge turning point for young filmmakers. The podcast had only 3,000 listens in the first 24 hours. But by the next morning, sites like Variety, Deadline, The Times, and Daily Mail were reposting it. It was these articles that turned the rumor mill in a different direction. People were no longer just asking, are they in a relationship? They were starting to ask, are you two secretly creating something bigger than your private life? Sam sent Caitriona a short 10-word email. Now people will be curious in the direction we want them to be. She replied less than 30 seconds later. Yeah, but the price of that is that we will both be double-checked. Even though they didn't meet, they both understood. They had kept the main secret, but the shadow of their private lives still followed the project like a wisp of smoke that wouldn't dissipate. And the most dangerous thing was, the more silence, the more people thought there was a story behind it that was worth telling, more than all the rumors that were circulating out there.